All right, y'all. So welcome back once again to another episode of Make It Make Sense, y'all, where we are going to today navigate the realm and landscape of sports, finance, and life. All right. If you didn't know, without further ado, my name is Travis, or Mr. Make It Make Sense himself, your companion in this enriching journey that we're going to talk about today. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both important, also strategic, right? And it's going to be the S.O.B story, right? And what we're talking about is the S.O.B story, right? So some people think about, when I think, I'm thinking standing on business, right? Because that's what's been going around right now. And what I'm thinking about is transparency about your life story, right? When I think standing on business. So, like I said before, it's not your normal sad sob story looking for pity, but rather the stories of overcoming and building resilience in the world of sports. Plus, for those of you looking to step into the crypto game, guess what? We've got some beginner tips and strategies for you as well. As y'all already know, make it make sense. The name title, of this podcast came about because the financial markets is how I got my first look into investing, entrepreneurship, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, and really propelled me into the place I am today when it comes to digital resources, media, marketing, things of that nature, and why I wanted to also target the sports market and understanding, as yes, we talk about NIL, but what's also important is going to be that money management that's going to also come with those endorsement deals, right? Those clients, that clientele, those future contracts, right? Finance is going to come into play when it comes into these sports. And now it's coming into play sooner than later. You're no longer having to wait to get to the NFL. And some states is high school athletes, right? Some states college, right? Some states both, right? So that's what's key. That's what's crazy, right? So we're going to talk about that today. So let me ask you a question. How do these compelling stories truly impact the game, and how can you navigate the intricate world of cryptocurrency if you're just starting out? So we want to unpack it all for you right now. But first, what I do want to discuss is the emotional impact of your standing on business stores, okay? Right? The emotional impact. So let's talk about it. These narratives have a unique ability to connect with fans, with athletes on a personal level. We'll explore how sharing stories of resilience, adversity, and triumph can create a powerful emotional bond between athletes and their supporters. Okay, we're talking about, again, that personal brand. Okay, if you're a student athlete, right? If you're a parent, right? We're talking about that personal brand. So this is where the S.O.B stories come into play. Standing on business. Okay. Adversity, resilience, triumph. Okay. Secondly, right? These stories and athletic performance. How does the public perception of an athlete's personal journey influence their performance on the field? We're going to dive into the psychological aspects and discuss whether the weight of a compelling story can be a burden or a motivator. Okay, that's something to think about. So now let's break down the elements of a powerful S.O.B story, okay? First things first, like I said before, standing on business. So authenticity matters. Authenticity matters. And we're going to talk more about the impact of authenticity in S.O.B stores. So let's talk about how being genuine, unfiltered narratives resonate more strongly with audiences, fostering a deeper connection, right? That's so key. Authenticity, be yourself, be your true self, right? And you have to understand, not everyone is going to be for everybody. That's the SW3 way. Some will, some won't. So what? Okay. Some will, some won't. So what? So you must be authentic at all times so you can feel confident not only in yourself, your personal brand, then you can move accordingly within your values. All right, that was number one. Number two, find the line, or let me say this, the fine line, right? There's a delicate balance between vulnerability and exploitation. Okay, make sure you know the fine line. And we are going to discuss how athletes can navigate this line, ensuring that their stories are shared with respect and sincerity. Okay, because we do understand in the media sometimes, whether you're a high school athlete, college athletes, right? You see these athletes, so even the Bronny James of the world, okay, you still have to understand the fine line. Okay, very important. And number three, understanding beyond the field. Okay, S.O.B stories often extend beyond the realm of sports. Okay, and we'll look at how athletes can leverage their personal narratives for positive change, whether it's in philanthropy, activism, or community engagement. All right, these are three key points, right? And don't forget, anytime you listen to this episode, this is why Make It Make Sense is the podcast that pays, because you're always going to get something, a strategy, a tip or trick that you can utilize right away after listening to an episode, right? Today, you're going to get 6 tips. You're going to get 3 for your S.O.B story, and then you're going to get 3 for crypto that we're going to talk about here in a little bit also. All right. That's very, very key. All right. So now, like I said, let's shift gears a bit and dive into this exciting world of cryptocurrency with some beginner tips and strategies. For those of you who are new to this space, here are a few pointers to get you started. And the reason why I really want to talk about crypto is because Forex and crypto is, I want to say, really why I'm in a position I'm in now. Again, I was at a place where I understood hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But I wanted to work smarter. I didn't want to work hard anymore. I want to start working smarter. When I started reading, get into investing, financial literacy, understanding the foreign exchange markets, and then the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and understanding the digital change that was coming, the digital age, I got into digital products, right? Understanding, with COVID, online learning, virtual learning, is going to be very crucial to what we do next and things of that nature. What's up, Walt? Appreciate you, Chief. See you out there. We are change. Let's keep making change. Right. So in the world of cryptocurrency, and then here I want to give us some tips as well. And it's not just cryptocurrency, but it's all money investment strategies. Okay. Money investment strategy. You can use this whether you want to learn stocks, options, Forex, crypto, real estate, anything you want to do, business. And I say that because this is all entrepreneur related. Okay, going into the name. What's up, Fred? I see you in the building as well. I appreciate you, Chief. Right. I appreciate you, Walt. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to keep it going. What's up, bro? I see y'all in here. Appreciate y'all talking to me. But when we talk about financial literacy, right, the first things first, and I think, right, and this is truly the hardest, is educating yourself, right? Before you dive in, before you, throw any money, before you throw that church's money into the bank, right? Before you dive in, take the time to educate yourself about what, the market, right? Whatever that may be. It could be that cryptocurrency, could be that stock, it could be that real estate venture, it could be that vending machine venture, it could be anything. It could be that online clothing store, could be your NIL brand. It could, no matter what it is, how does it work, right? And what, different things are available. What are the competition in that area, right? What is your needs to know? Because there are numerous online resources, courses, and communities that can help you build a true solid foundation, right? And I think that's very, very key. All right. So number 2, start small. Everybody thinks you got to have, oh man, I need $100,000. How about 5? You got $5? right? You got 5, right? You got 1, right? You got a quarter. Okay, do you have something? Right? Because even if you have a quarter, you can actually start, right? You won't believe it, because then guess what happens if you get 4 quarters? You now have what? $1. What happens if you get 10 $1 bills? You have $10, right? And then you keep stacking the chips, right? So start small. As a beginner, it's very wise to start small, with very small investments that you can afford to lose, right? So when you're saving, because you got to understand, hey, you're not going to invest all the church's money. It's about percentages. It's about risk management, right? That's key, right? That's why educating yourself is key, because you have to understand, okay, what am I willing to risk, right? Am I willing to risk 1% to gain 5? Okay, does that make sense? Right. And I like to use percentages because we all have different risk tolerance, right? I know people who can only risk $5. I know some people who can risk $5,000 and don't blink twice. So everyone's risk tolerance is different, but it's all about the percentages, right? I think that's key. And that's what matters, right? Because anytime if you're investing, right, you have to understand the volatility of the markets, the risk involved, like we've been talking about. So it's important to always ease into that and learn as you go. But number 3, here's another thing to think about: diversification. Diversify your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, is basically what I'm saying, right? So if you've been following me before with Trends Nation, Trade the Trends, and me helping those in the financial literacy aspect, right? You can see that, hey, I have my money in multiple different things. And I'm also understanding that once I make a certain amount of profit, I take profit or pay myself first, I like to call it, right? So for example, if I invest $100, if that $100 gets to $1,000, I take my $100 back, right? So now that $1,000 or 900 that's left, when that gets to $2,000, guess what? I take my another $100, right? It grows another 1,000, I take another 100, right? So I'm paying myself along the way. Also, and with that 100 that I'm paying myself with, I could be doing multiple things, right? I could be, paying off an expense, getting ahead on a bill. I could also be maybe looking to, okay, now that I have this extra $100 or $300, maybe I can invest it elsewhere. Maybe I'll get a vending machine business or ATM business. Like, who knows, right? You can diversify, different things. Again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification is a key strategy in investing. Consider spreading those investments across different things, no matter what that is, to reduce the risk, of course, right? So that's key. That's key. All right. So we talked about a lot today, and I do want to simply kind of just go back to the S.O.B, right? Because it's not a sob story, right? Right. Again, like I said, we standing on business, right? It's all about the authenticity, and what matters and how you are building your personal brand, right? And that could be, again, as a sports, marketing major, of course, that is all about, guess what? Your personal brand. How are you going to show that to your NIL? How are you going to show that, to your coaches? How are you going to show that to future NFL teams? Right. Also understanding that fine line, right? Understanding what are your values and how do you want to set the standard? Okay. That balance, between vulnerability and exploitation. What are you willing to, share, of course, in reality, and understanding these stories also go way beyond the field, right? Way beyond the field. And also, for those here who wanted some tips and tricks also in the financial space, of course, educate yourself, right? Start small and diversify your portfolio. Reach out to a financial consultant as well. Again, research is going to be key. understanding risk management, starting small, right? If you can right now save $5 every time you get paid, right? That's a start, right? Because people don't understand. I say this all the time when I'm talking to people or facilitating, all the time with sales training, retention training, technical training, public speaking, no matter what it is, I always say focus on 1%. If you can get 1% better, right, for the rest of this year, let's think about it, it's 365%. But again, let's think about it, no one's perfect, right? Say you take a month off. Matter of fact, let's take 2 months off, right? Again, that's over 300% better than you were when you began, right? And that's all about starting small. Okay, that's very key, right? So let's conclude. Let's talk about again the S.O.B, right? We standing on business once again. It's more than just your normal tearjerker, right? It's a powerful force that shapes the narrative of sports, life, and just influencing both the athletes, the fans, everyone listening to this podcast right now, this live, hearing this on the replay, no matter where you're hearing this at, consider liking, comment, and subscribing as well. And I appreciate those joining in live and those stepping into the world of crypto. Also, remember education, caution, and diversification are your best companions. All right. So thank you for joining me in this, I would say, multifaceted episode of Make It Make Sense. If you found these insights valuable, please subscribe and share this episode with fellow sports enthusiasts and budding crypto enthusiasts as well, and just people looking to hear some positivity all the time, because again, y'all, this is the podcast that pays. And be on the lookout for our next episode. And if you haven't caught up yet to our previous episodes, go ahead, go to sw3sports.com, click on podcasts at the top, and you'll see all of our previous podcast episodes. Consider subscribing and supporting the channel so we can continue to bring this info to y'all as well, right? Until then, remember, every story, every struggle, and every triumph contributes to making every cent count. So stay tuned, stay curious, and keep making every cent count, y'all. I will see y'all on the other side.